Okay, Canucks fans, get ready to either be happy or triggered by this video. Welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is Rev Trev. So glad that you're here. I do Canucks content that is passionate and realistic and honest. And today I want to be talking about Luke Schenn. Should he be traded or should we keep him? Now, this is going to be the massive debate. This is where people get so triggered on Canucks Twitter. As a fan base, it just feels like we're quite divided on this. And it comes down to not Luke Schenn. It comes down to a philosophy that you and I have about what the team should do and what the plan is going forward. The most Canucks fans are really okay or really pushing for a rebuild. The challenge is, and I know this is where you're going to get triggered, the management has said they are not doing a rebuild, but they're doing a retool. We hate that word, right? Because that's what Benning used to use, and that's what Benning used to do, and it's got us nowhere. We're no better than we were, and we're just floundering as a team. And we know that just bringing in new coaches doesn't make the big difference on this roster. That there needs to be shifts to the core. So the Bo Horvat trade was definitely a step in a rebuild direction, getting a prospect, a player, and a first-round pick. Now, this is the thing. When it comes to Luke Schenn, most Canucks fans are like, we need to trade him. He's 33 years old, and we need to move him if we can get a draft pick. And I agree with that theory as long as we get a significant draft pick. The thing about the NHL draft is called an entry draft. It takes some years to get in. It's not like the NFL or the NBA for the most part, where players are going to play this next season. That would be really great. If we can tank it, and that's the other thing. Do you want the team to tank or do you want them to improve? Like, see improvement. That's another big philosophy. I'm putting that on my Twitter as different polls that you can do. Okay, so here's the thing. Luke Schenn is part of this process. And people are thinking, if we keep him, that means that we are retooling and not rebuilding, and then they lose their minds, right? And they start insulting you online and all that kind of stuff. Here's the dealio. Luke Schenn only makes $850,000. It's one of the lowest salaries on the whole roster, okay? And we're talking about making salaries like with Joshua and Studnik and Drives, like these kinds of players. The difference between Schenn is we need defensemen, and he's leading the league in hits. He plays well with guys like Quentin Hughes, and everyone freaked out when we moved Tanev because they're like, he's not good and he's always injured and blah, blah, blah. And he was very good. And then once he left, everyone's like, oh, I wish we had Tanev. It's like, yeah, he was the defensive defenseman. You needed to pair up with a guy like Quentin Hughes. So we saw a big difference. Finally, we've gotten someone like Luke Schenn. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Luke Schenn is God's gift to hockey. Even though he's an NHLer, he's very good. He's had some good years and careers, but he can hit people. Like he's clearly leading the league in hits. Everyone's talking about Trouba and the monster hits he leads. He's got almost 100 more hits than Trouba. Like, that's how significant we're talking here. He makes a difference in the games that way. Is he the best defenseman in the league? No. Now, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is 33 years old, $850,000, maybe the plan, because the plan, according to management, is we're retooling. Maybe the plan is they just want to re-sign Luke Schenn going forward to play with Quentin Hughes. Like, that's a realistic possibility. You might be angry about that. I might be angry about that. But that might be the plan. And you can lose your mind all you want. They're in charge. We are not. We're just giving our opinions. Right? And so here we are. So what do? Do you trade Luke Schenn? Apparently, we've been offered a second-round pick for Luke Schenn. If that is the case, if a team is gearing up for playoffs and wants a guy who can hit and play good minutes on their playoff run, go do that. I I would pull that deal in a heartbeat, the trigger of that deal in a heartbeat, guys. A second round pick for Luke Schenn, that would be awesome. Do it. But if we're only getting a third and fourth round pick, and then some people are like, oh, well, we need to get more assets and draft picks. It's like, not necessarily. A lot of the third round and fourth round players, if that's all you're going to get is a third or a fourth, don't pan out. It's really a first and second round league that those guys pan out. There are some third rounders that become something great. But will they ever become anything like how good Luke Schenn's playing right now? Probably not. It depends if you hit the lottery, right? And so drafting is educated guessing. They don't have it nailed down perfectly. So this is the big debate. This is why the fan base is so angry. I do think the Canucks probably end up moving him if they get a second rounder. And they don't, what they're going to say is, well, it's just like Hamhuis. So they didn't get anything for Hamhuis. Yeah, I know. But if the plan is to sign him back next season, then they're probably just going to end up keeping him. Now, the dream is this, that they trade him for second, third, fourth round pick, and they re-sign him back to Vancouver in the offseason. I personally would be excited about that. Rarely happens. I was hoping Bo was going to do that for us, but he signed that big deal. So, okay, I would love to know your thoughts. I know that some of you are super angry right now, but this is what I'm talking about. I talk about realistic things that are going to happen or could happen. But I get it. Our fan base is very passionate and we're very frustrated. We've been so bad for so long, missed the playoffs for so many years. And we're like, we want to win a cup. So I think the first step in winning a cup is making the playoffs, and whatever makes us better to make the playoffs at first in order to win that cup, I'm all for that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. And always, and of course, go Canucks go.